and welcome to May's Intermediate Sampler here at Close to Home in Southington. You can bring in your completed April pineapple block starting this Friday, May 9th, through the end of May, Saturday, May 31st, to receive this May's kit free. We have big savings on new as well as pre-owned sewing machines, sergers, and long arms. Machines up to 50% off and great deals on trade-ins. Also, a Mother's Day savings email has more information on machines and 20% off purchases from our quilt department. Some exclusions apply, as you know, the Saturday Sampler fabrics. And lastly, our 50% off Finish the Bolt selections have been refreshed, so come in early for the best selection. Also, I just wanted to let you know we just got in a very nice assortment of 108 by 108 wide backs, so also on sale, 20% off. All right, let's go take a look at the block for May of 2025. We are doing a building block. We are going to be working with the Jaybirds Sidekick Ruler to create three shapes: the diamonds, the triangles, and these half triangles. All right, three shapes. Pretty simple. I will go through all the cutting for you. So if you could just take a look at the cutting instructions. There's really none because everything in your kit is actually going to be cut at 2.5-inch strips. So this is a very, very good block for jelly roll quilt, jelly roll packages that have been laying around. Look for some light, medium, and dark fabrics to make your blocks with. So I've already pre-cut my strips 2.5, and let me tell you, it's very, very important that you put some starch, some best press in these strips, into these fabrics in your kits when you first get them. There are a lot of angles, and it's really going to keep things straight and even, and it will help you get this block nice and squared. Okay, let me show you the tool before we get into the selections. It is the Sidekick Ruler. It has, you can cut out 4 sizes: a 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, and 4.5 pieces. Obviously, we cut ours 2.5. They will all finish at 2. The Sidekick Ruler has a larger version. It is called the Super Sidekick, and it's the same exact ruler, same exact markings. You can do this block with this if you have it, but it is a little bit more cumbersome because you are only using the 2.5-inch lines. Okay, so something like this would be much easier to do. And let me tell you, we did this block in June of 2020, and it was with our Kansas Troubles fabric. So if you were with us back then, I guess the start of COVID, we started doing this online. There was also one for that. Same block, same tool. I hope you remember how to do it. If not, if you're new to it, I hope you enjoy it. What's helped me with my Sidekick Ruler is there are no grips on the ruler from Jaybirds. So what I did is I applied true grips to the corners, and it really does help. I applied them to both sides of my rulers because I am flipping as I cut my pieces. So they're clear. I put them in the corner. I can see through them. They're really nice. 20% off. If you're interested, we can order those for you. Okay. So, easy enough. I'm going to cut some pieces. I'm going to lay it out. I'm going to show you how to make your rows, and then we'll show you how to trim it down at the very end. So a couple things to remember. The dark is the magenta. The medium is the buttons. These are both the same exact diamond shapes, so we're going to cut those at the same time. We do not fold our fabric. We can leave that nice and flat as we cut. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the diamonds first. We have our 2.5 inch strip. I am right-handed, so I'm going to be working on this side. I hope that helps everybody. So the first thing I want to do is cut my first angle, and I'm always going to keep this on this triangle. I'm always going to keep this blunt side closer to me so I can read the letters. So it's literally looking at me with the words and everything on the right side. So along the side is my 2.5. As you can see, the 2.5 mark, it's going to be at the top of my strip. And whoops, I want to make sure these are right on top of each other. Let me scoot those. All right, so I'm going to place this over on the right hand of my strip as close to the end as I can. Get it lined up along the bottom, the 2.5. Make my first cut just to get it started. And then we're going to flip it around because I cut with my right hand, so I need the angle over here. So again, we're going to place this right in the marks where it says 2.5 along the top. I don't know if you can read it here. 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. We have the solid lines. We're going to just line those up. And it goes right into that corner and down. And we're going to cut our first one. And we're just going to keep on moving. Lining it up again. I need a total of 6. Okay, and again, I'm cutting them both at the same time. Make sure you have a really nice sharp blade on your rotary cutter. Okay, pretty quick. I think most of this video will be the cutting. It's not too much sewing. And the last one. We're just going to put these aside for a sec. Again, just making sure I'm all lined up, and I have 6 of them. All right, so I'm just going to put, oh, and one last thing on the diamonds. It's really important that we cut the little notches off the top and bottoms because those are going to match up with our triangle so much easier. So to do that, we're going to turn our ruler so that we have that notch at the bottom. Right now it's facing you, so it's at the bottom. Sorry, Heidi, it's really hard to see. And this little notch down here, I'm going to just follow that angle on the diamond. And I'm just going to place it here so it goes along the cut, and my little diamond fits right into this line right here, which is my 2.5 line. All right, and we're just going to trim this off both the top and the bottom. Sorry about the glare, you guys. So I'm going to do that with most of these. Again, getting those all set. I'm just going to cut a couple of these and sew a couple for you, so hopefully I'll grab the ones that I've trimmed. The grippers are fantastic on this. Too good. Okay, a little bit of pressure and trim my little points off. So you're going to do that to all your diamonds and take those little points right off of there. All right, and these are going to allow you to set them together and sew them, which I will show you. It makes it so much easier to know exactly where they go. All right. All right, so the next thing I want to do is show you how to cut the light. The light is cut into triangles. Okay. So this one, for the light swirl, we do want to fold this in half, okay? Because it's the same shape, the triangle, but I want to cut 2 at a time. It's just a lot quicker. You could open it up and cut 12, or I'm just going to cut 6, and they're doubled. So once again, guess what? We're going to start on the end, get my angle going. Okay, so again, it's along the 2.5, and my little blunt side is down here. Open up my rotary cutter, and then guess what? We're going to flip it around. All right, so I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to flip it over so I'm looking at the back side of my ruler. And at this point, I now have the triangle, the blunt side up at the top, the 2.5 inch marking I can see very clearly through the Sidekick ruler, and I'm just going to line up the top, the angle I just cut, and the 2.5 inch mark along here, and I'm going to cut my first pair of triangles. Okay? And guess what? We're going to flip it over. Now I'm looking at the correct side of my Sidekick ruler. Because I'm right-handed, I'm just going to keep lining it up and cutting my pair of triangles. Flip it, line it up, and cut it. Flip it. Here we go. And I'm just going to continue all the way down, and I believe I might be able to even get 7 sets. And I'll tell you why that's important in a sec. If you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. That's fine. You definitely can get 6 sets of 2. Line it up. It's going to be close. See if I can get one more. If I can't, I can't. That's okay. Yeah, looks like I'm going to just barely get one more. So I cut 7, and the reason I did that is because I'm going to kind of look through these and make sure that they're all kind of blue and white. That's going to give me my light. As soon as I start adding a lot of color, like a lot of the magenta color in these, I kind of make the block a little bit darker, which is going to shade my block a little bit differently. It's okay. It's quite all right, but I think what I'm going to do is take this one away and this one away, because this one probably has the most magenta. So I want to keep them kind of on the blue or the lighter side so that they really have an opportunity to be on the lighter side of the 3. I know this one had a lot of magenta. It's just the way it turned out. If you like that look for the ones with magenta. But I kind of focused on the ones with more of the blue-white going through and it's the light swirl. All right, and the last thing we're going to cut, I'm just going to put these aside for a sec. The last thing we're going to cut is our white, or our background. All right, this one's a little tricky, so hang in there. So this strip is the whole entire width of fabric. So I have 2 selvages. I have 1, 2, and the fold. And it is wrong sides together, okay? Not 2 facing up or 2 facing down. It's 1 strip I've folded. So the first thing I want to do is cut this into 3 sections of 2. So the first section, let me just get a nice straight line, is going to be a 4-inch piece. Okay. So I'm going to turn this around again. They're together. And these pieces that I'm showing you here are going, this is the 4-inch piece that's remaining. This one and this one are going to be the 7, and this one and this one are the 10. It's hard to see, but it's a solid piece of white, and that's what we're cutting now. And in a minute, from each of those, I'm going to be cutting a half rectangle off. So again, the tops, the 2 center strips that I'm doing, these are from the 4-inch. The next ones over are 7s, and the last outside ones are the 10-inch. And the directions will tell you all that. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut a 4-inch. So I'm just going to measure over 4 and cut my pair of 4 rectangles. I'm going to measure 7 and cut that. And this one is a 10. It could be longer if you want it. It's okay, but I'm kind of running out of fabric. So, but that's all you need. Make sure those are at least that. Okay, now from each of these rectangles, I'm going to cut out a triangle off the ends of each one. So my ruler is up because I'm right-handed. So my ruler is upside down, and I'm using this triangle right here along the cut edge, my 2.5 line, and I'm going to make a cut right there on each of those. And again, it's in the directions, but I just want you to see what I'm doing. So there's that one. And this is going to give me a left and a right. Right? That's the wrong sides. These are right sides. So here's my left and my right. I'm going to do it again. Especially if you have fabric. I know Kona white doesn't have a right or wrong side, but if you were doing this on another fabric, I just want you to make sure that you see that you are getting left and right side pieces. And then the last one. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to set these all up into our block. I'm just going to have a seat. And then we're just going to put these out. We're going to start with the bottoms. Left and a right. Left and a right. I have my little cheat sheet here. And a left and a right. So I have my 6 columns. We're always starting from the bottom. The next things I want are my cube, my diamond pieces. I'm just building it exactly as the directions show me. And then I'm going to take these, and the ones with the cut off on the triangle, the ones with these, go to the sides. Okay, so this one's going to fill in here. This one with the blunt edge is going to go to this side. The blunt edge to the side, blunt edge to the side. I'm just going to keep building my strips, and then that's it for that one. This one only has the 3 pieces. So then these are going to get built again. So I have my bottom, I have my green diamonds, I have the blue, and I'm building this one, this one, this one, and this one. More blue diamonds. Again, point the flat edge out to the side. More blue diamonds. Triangles. Light swirl triangles. Let's get it right. Light swirl triangles. And then my last one is the purple, or magenta, sorry, and that, which is my buttons, and then the very last one. So you can kind of see, if you stand back a little bit, how we're building these blocks. Here's block number 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's kind of weird, 5 and 6. So where do these pieces come? Well, I have a right side left, and I have a right side right. Same with this one. Right side left and a right side right. It's hard to tell with the Kona white on white, so quite honestly, you have one of each, so it doesn't really matter. But if you were using fabric, obviously, that had a print, you'd want to make sure you had all the right sides. All right, so we have them all set up. So I'm going to go ahead and sew a couple, sew at least this strip, and then I'll show you how to put it all together. So remember when we cut off our little tips on our diamond shapes, that's where this is going to come into play. So I have my bottom, and we're going to work our way upwards. I'm going to put right sides together. I'm going to put that notch right in there, and that's going to show me where to come out at my 1/4 inch valley at that point. So I'm going to sew from here 1/4 inch and come out the valley. So let me get my sheen on. I'll do a few of these just so we have it done, just so you can see how they match up. And then I have a sample of some rows that I've already cut. Sorry, this takes a little bit to warm up. There we go. All right, so a little noise. Yep. All right, so off we go. Keeping the raw edges right on top of each other. And again, we just want to come right out that notch. Okay? So I'm going to do each column at a time. I could go straight across, but sometimes it gets confusing. There's a lot of pieces here. When I'm done with this one, I'm going to open up the seam, and I'm just going to press it nice and flat with my fingernail. Just give it a little bit of a press. Don't stretch it, just give it a little bit of a press. I'll put it back on. Now I have the diamond to the light swirl triangle. And again, remember those notches? Those are going to come in real handy right now, because when I turn this and put it on top of each other, my notches match and I have my valley. All right, this will keep us nice and lined up. And this angle right here is right on top of my triangle. If it's up or down, try to straighten it up so that it's at the same angle. Okay, should fit right on there. Let's sew that real quick. And once again, we're going to start at the point. We're going to come out right at that valley. Okay, we started right here at the point, and we want to come out at the valley. Okay. Again, we're going to just press that open. And we're going to just continue to sew these right on top of each other as we go. Open that up, and we have 2 valleys. So we're just going to go right through there. We're going to continue to sew those all together. All right, the magic of TV. So what I've done is I've sewn my rows. I've opened up each one as I went. As I sewed them together, I again pressed them open with my finger, then took them to the iron and just gave them a little bit of heat. All right, so as you can see, I have these 4 done on the side, and I have 2 more to go. These 2, which I've already sewn. So when we're putting these together, it's the bottom part that really matters. This is a bottom of our block. We're going to trim this after we sew this last piece, and I'm going to press it, and we're going to trim it and be done with it. So as I sew this, I want to make sure as I go I have my pin. And I'm just going to keep going, putting my pin in at 1/4 inch and making sure I get right into that seam, right between the background white and the magenta and the background white and the buttons. So when I put those together, I know they're going to match, and I'm going to have a really nice intersection right here. All right, so that my blocks match. And I'm just going to sew up to that point, match it again, sew up to that point, and just keep popping my pin in just to make sure my blocks are right, setting right together. So this will take another minute. All right, so here we go. We're going to start these kind of on a scant 1/4 of an inch, I guess. Because I really want to make sure that it measures 12.5 when I'm done. So as I go, I'm just going to pull that pin out, get the next one set up, and poke it right in a 1/4 inch, and right here at a 1/4 of an inch. I don't know if you can see that. So this intersection is going to match up with this intersection, and I'm going to have those 2 points right on the money, hopefully. Well, that's the goal. All right, so let's do that up to that point. Make sure that you keep your points or seams open. I'll do the next one. 1/4 of an inch between the seams, and press that. And we're just gonna last one. The pin just kind of helps anchor the 2 points, so, oops, so they don't shift on me, that's all. We like our blocks to have nice intersections. Okay, and this one I can kind of see through, but I see it's right here. And we're going to continue all the way. Make sure the iron is hot. Yeah, they're all different heights. That's right. I'm glad you asked. Okay. The last thing we're going to do is just press this open and we're going to trim. So I like to get in there, just give it a little finger press as I go. And then it's so much easier to press with the iron once these are opened up with the seams. Okay, last one. All right, and now a little bit of heat. I try not to iron, I just want to put a little bit of heat right on that seam. Okay, whoops, I messed up this one. Oh geez. Okay, so here's my block. It should be 12.5 left to right because we cut 2.5 inch strips, right? And they finish at 2. So we have our 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 inch finished. So that should be 12.5. So let's go hopefully measure this and we're going to trim the top. All right, so I got out the big guns here. I'm going to put this at 12.5, which is right about here. All right, and we're going to just trim that down. So here's my, whoop, I got to get this a little bit squared. All right, it's not really square, but I'm going to press it until it is square. And that's it. We're just going to trim that up. We have our 12.5 inch block. Put your borders on. Don't forget, bring in your pineapple block and pick up your maize kits for free by the end of May. Thank you for watching. Come in for our Mother's Day special. Have a great day. Bye.